So once again, metaphors and metonymies as driving forces behind semantic change. That has been the case ever since the existence of language. Okay, here is a Latin example. Metaphors, working with similarities, and taken a word, an everyday word like muscle, which derives from Latin musculus, and in Latin it is a metaphor, meaning little mouse, because I mean, this is the thing, if you are well endowed here, this is this thing which moves in your upper arm, looks a bit like a little mouse which goes back and forth, and this gave you musculus and then muscle today, okay, but in Latin originally a metaphor. So kid, another example, okay, very easy one, because this word will certainly supplant the English word child or children, kids, originally meaning young goat, and then metaphorically used a young goat for a young child, giving you the word kid, which will certainly settle through. Other examples, German, Kopf, I mean, you can't see this, but it is Latin, Kuppa. This is what the old Germanic people, the Germans, took from Latin, and this is probably what they smashed, the cup, Roman cups, okay, heads. I'll give you German Kopf, and the same is true for French, okay, tête, deriving from Latin testa, which means pod, or even shards, and again, a slang word, which became standard, tête, but originally a metaphor. So you see, so metaphors are very creative when it comes to the creation of new words, and of course, when it comes to semantic change. More examples of this kind. Particularly, just think about that. There are new domains, I mean, there are new concepts which come into being, which need certain words. I mean, you have to describe these concepts, and you don't have words for them. New inventions, for example. I mean, this was the case, think about this, when Christianization came, for example. Completely new concepts which you have to denote, talk about, and then you use metaphors. Here I just pick computers. When computers were invented, of course, people invented certain things and they had to give them names. So what did they do? Metaphors. I mean, a computer mouse, it's obvious. Similarity, metaphor. Similarity, a computer mouse and a real mouse. Or even if you say that, computer language. I mean, a computer doesn't speak. But for these things which you program on your computer, you need languages, and you didn't have words for that, and so you used language, but language is something you speak, so a metaphor once again. Keyboard, another one. Keyboard, originally a key, it's a note, okay, it's something you play on a keyboard board, I mean a piano or something like that, but still a cembalo. Similarity, looks similar to what you play music with, and therefore keyboard used for this computer thingy as well. Same is true for bug, or virus, of course, computer virus, something else. A Trojan would be another example, a Trojan. Metaphor, but a wrong metaphor this time, because not the Trojans sat in the horse. Those were the Greeks. Moved into Troy in the horse, and then, of course, sacked Troy in the end and defeated it and stuff like that. So no Trojans should really be called Greeks, but still, a metaphorical use for this bug which you have in your computers, and bug, again, a metaphor. All right. These things, metaphors, this brings us directly to language change, yes, certainly used a lot in tabooed contexts, contexts which you do not like to talk about very much, and if you do it metaphorically. particularly in sexual contexts. So sexual organs usually refer to metaphorically, tail or nail or screw or what have you. Okay, these things, metaphorical use of language in sexual matters, tabooed. Everything dying. It's usually something people don't like to talk about a lot, and therefore use a lot of euphemism. Those euphemisms are usually metaphors. Pass away, depart, he is gone, something like that. Tabooed context metaphors. A crime, in crime too. Think of all the words you have for stealing: swipe, abduct, lift, pinch, okay, and so on. Mostly often euphemistic as well, okay. Tabooed body parts, that too. Bottom, okay. I think of all the various metaphors: the rear, the backside, cheeks, and what have you. Even today, you can think about things like alcohol abuse, smoking, something like that. I mean, these things which people usually try to play down, okay, using metaphors for that. Overeating, what have you. Things which, in a way, are tabooed, tabooed context. So, yes, a very important role, and metaphors are a way out, okay, and produce, of course, semantic change. They do, because there are loads of metaphorical meanings on top of the original meaning, and they give you certain polysemies in the end. Of course they do. Everyday words like table leg, okay, it's a metaphor. Table doesn't have a leg. Door frame. The door picture has a frame, not a door, but yeah, it looks similar. Similarity. So yes, use it. And so on. Okay, so yes, semantic change and metaphors are very, very important. So is metonymy. Okay, metonymy is something similar, but not quite. I mean, metonymy works with contiguity. Something that is associated with a certain thing and not similar to it. Okay, contiguity, metonymy. Some people differentiate between metonymy and synecdoche or something like that. I won't. For me, synecdoche is just one form of metonymy. I will come to that. But here we go. Uniform for a policeman. Just in uniform over there. Other Brits use it quite a lot. I heard that. Wheels for a car. This would be a synecdoche, but one form of metonymy. It belongs to the car somehow. It's not similar to the car. It's contiguous, and therefore it's a metonymy. Okay, wheels. Have you got wheels? Okay, something like that. The crown, very obvious. The crown belongs to the monarchy. It's a symbol, and it's a metonymy for a monarchy. And then usually place names, quite a lot. Okay, place names. Langley, for the CIA, because the CIA is in Langley. Okay, is it in Virginia? I think it is. I'm not quite sure though. Scotland Yard, Metropolitan Police Service in London. Scotland Yard. Okay, place name, contiguous to the institution. Hollywood would be another one for the American film industry. Fleet Street, metaphorically used for the press in London, and so on. The Pentagon, what have you. The White House, as a metonymy for the administration. Okay, whatever you have. So yes, metonymies quite a lot. There are other examples of metonymies. Glasses. When people invented glasses, I mean, glass is something else. But glasses are part of the spectacles, the seeing devices you have, and therefore yeah, in English at least, so glasses. Shades, a bit slangy, yeah, for sunglasses, yes, but this is what they look like. And there you see sometimes metonymy, a metaphor, yeah. Could be a metaphor as well, shades, yeah, for sunglasses. Yeah, but bulb, bulb is an onion originally, but in a way, it looks like it's contiguous to it. Is it? Is it similar? There you see, I mean, probably thinking about it now, I'll probably call it more of a metaphor than a metonymy. But yeah, okay, there are good reasons for both interpretations. Here, sorry for that, we had it, town, yeah, town, which is originally a fence around the hamlet, and it's contiguous to the hamlet, and then the fence itself denoted the whole conglomeration there. In German, town, we should still have the old meaning, but yes, town in English today, it's a metonymy, if you like. We have this example too, yeah, beam in the name of meaning of timber today, part of a tree, okay? It belongs to the tree somehow, beam, but beam originally meant tree, and then the meaning beam as sort of timber is, of course, metonymy. Or something like this here, yeah, Britannia rules the waves. Oh, Britannia, Britannia rules the waves as being a metonymy for the oceans. Okay, this I wanted to say that many polysemies, at least, that somehow words acquire different meanings. Have an originally core meaning, if you like, and then certain metaphorical meanings, which in a way sometimes you don't realize anymore that they were metaphors in the beginning, as with town, for example, or something. Yeah. Shelley wrote about this. That's a language that a poet, Shelley talks about poets. Poets invent, they are the legislators of the world, because they, in a way, invent new metaphors and keep the language alive. Once these metaphors become stale, metonymies too, you have to invent new ones, new poets for that. This is what Shelley said, but yeah, he was right to some extent. But what he was right in certainly was that, in a way, metaphors in the beginning, you realize they are metaphors. And then take a few centuries, something like this, the metaphorical use, or at least the knowledge that they are metaphors disappears, and they become meanings in themselves, as with beam or town or something. Sorry for that. Okay, this is what I wanted to say about metaphors, metonymy, and how important they are, and we should not underestimate them. To conclude that, metonymy is, of course, very often used as insults, okay? Kraut for German, or frog for Frenchman. This is what at least the Brits think we are eating all the time. Yeah, kraut. I never eat kraut, though I am one. Never do. Well, we exported kraut a lot to the British Navy because they realized when they eat kraut, they won't suffer from scurvy. So, in a way, Germans promoted colonial success. And of course, the old stereotype that the French eat frogs all day. You have this quite a lot. I don't know, Germans calling Italians spaghettis and so on. Okay, let's stop here. And I don't know whether I'll be back. Probably will. But if not, thank you for listening. Yeah, bye-bye.